Thank you for tuning into the stand-up special. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, so it's going to be really awkward. I've never done stand-up. I'm not a professional stand-up comedian, but there's always a first for everything. I'm a semi-pro, as Will Ferrell told me once in life. So we're doing this stand-up special, and I know what you're thinking. Damian, a stand-up special? Yeah, a stand-up special. It's a stand-up special, all right. We got to do some weird stuff, you got to get into it. You got to get prepared before you do your stand-up special. You got to get some stretching in there, like a little bit of this, a little bit of, ooh, yeah, like that, stuff like that. You got to get some of these in there. Just make sure you're all prepared. So hopefully you're doing that at home or wherever you're watching. If you're watching on a train or a bus or a plane, this is really awkward for your person that's next to you. But stand-up special. Why are we doing a stand-up special? Well, I wanted to. And I know what you're thinking once again. It's not on Netflix. Everybody has those on Netflix. I'm not everybody. I'm me. I can only account for me. I'm not famous enough to be on Netflix or HBO Max or Hulu, Disney Plus. I don't think they have stand-up specials, but I'll be the first one. As weird as it is, I'll be that guy. Stand-up special, Damian. You can call me 1-800 what the fuck. So, really, the biggest thing to note is with me, I'm a weird man, and these are weird jokes. Some of them are sexual in nature, some of them are not. The biggest thing to point out, though, is my name is Farry, not Farry, not like that. My name is Farry, Damian Farry. Here, I'll spell it for you. F-A-R-R-Y. English teachers, take note. You've taught English for years. Where's the I in there? There's no I. I don't understand it. Honestly. Think about it. F-A-R. Far? Huh, weird. R. That one's silent. That's how I say it. Y. Which makes an I noise a lot of the time. Far E. It's an E sound, but I'm just stupid once in a while. It happens. But I don't get it. How do you fuck that up? F-A-R-R-Y. It's okay, it happens. The biggest thing to point out, though, is this is promotion to tell Disney, hey, I know you had Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Larry the Cable Guy. If you need another stand-up comedian to be the Tooth Fairy, my name's close enough, according to most people. I'll be the Tooth Fairy. It seems like a pretty easy job. I mean, just flutter the wings, a little bit of this, a little bit of getting the tooth. You got to do some strategic action like getting the tooth, pulling up the tooth. Important stuff like that is noted. I think it's important to note that. So, Disney, once again, if you need a Tooth Fairy, I'm your guy. People already pronounce my name wrong all the time and get it as Fairy. So, I think I can be that guy for you. Flutter the wings, I'm not in physical shape at all, but I can be the guy. I mean, look at Larry the Cable Guy. Damn, I could be the Tooth Fairy then if he can. So, I think it's important to note, Disney, you don't have my number, but I will gladly give you my number, as long as you don't sue me like Scarlett Johansson. So, another big thing to point out is I have facial hair. I'm not a facial hair guy, but over the years, I've noticed facial hair is nice to have. And I had a nice, long, tame beard, that was really nice. I loved it. But eventually, you've got to be an adult and move on. Facial hair isn't for everybody. Some people can grow it, some people can't. I can grow it, but I don't like it. So, after I shaved the facial hair off, I left myself with a mustache because I'm like, I've always wanted a mustache. I've saw Hopper in Stranger Things many a times, and I'm like, that man has a glorious fucking mustache. I need one of those in my life. So, I did it. I had this, which isn't anything. Then I went to this, which is nice kept mustache, I work hard on this. Keep it clean, nice and solid. But eventually, what happened is eventually as time went on, shit went wrong. I went to this. Unkept as fuck. This happens to every man. Man, if you're at that point, please, just give it up. Move on. You've got better things to do with your life. Seriously. If your mustache is looking like that, trim. You don't want it in your mouth. as a man who's eaten his own hair before by mistake, you don't want that to happen. It happens more than you think. I mean, look at that. It happens more than you think. So you don't want that to happen. You definitely don't. So, another thing I always thought about, this isn't something I thought about till just recently, shaving below the belt. Everybody does it. I mean, let's be honest. If you don't do it, you're a fucking monster. Stop. Please start. Do us all a favor and start doing it. Please, for the love of God. So, as time went on, I've thought, I need to shave below the belt. But, I have this. I can't shave below the belt. I've got to trim below the belt. So, there's a little bit of this. And I know I'm doing the air hump, but it's dramatic effect. I mean, you got to get in there. You got to really get in there. And you don't want to get the leg hair because then you look weird. But you got to get in there, all the way in there. And make sure you get in the gooch, like that, yeah. Then you gotta lift the ball. This is a perfect time to adjust my nuts as well. It's working great. But, shaving below the belt, nobody likes doing it. But we all gotta do it. Honestly. At least trim. Trim below the belt. I trim. I look good. My dick looks huge with the way I trim. It's like a fucking oak tree compared to brush. It's great. I recommend shaving below the belt. Which is something I always thought of. What do you shave? When do you shave? Are you a shaving before a shower kind of guy? During the shower? After shower? I'm a before because, you get all that hair stuck there. You want to clean that shit off. And I clean that shit off like a motherfucker. Just like a little gooch in there, like I said. You gotta clean. You gotta clean. That's important shit. But importantly, you don't want to shower during a thunderstorm. Whoever told you that is a fucking asshole. Don't shower during a thunderstorm. Don't do it. Just don't. You're going to fuck yourself up. You know what happens? You'll be like, showering. Oh, yeah, cleaning, baby. Oh, yeah, that's how I go. Oh, yeah, this is how I do it. This is how I get clean. You're going to get fucked. Royally fucked. Royally fucked. And I don't want to get royally fucked. Unless it's Meghan Malarco. Then I'm okay with it. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Who cares? But the biggest thing that I've learned in life with showering is don't shower during a thunderstorm and learn how to use a shower head. Because, you think of it like this. You're just like, shh, yeah, I'm getting all clean and shit. But there's an issue there. You've got to do the old problem that I learned from one of my buddies. His shower head was fucking weird. Most of them are like a pull up. His was not a pull up. His had a little ring that you pull down. So I'm a dumbass. I'll admit it any day of the week. But I had to go like this, awkwardly, onto the floor. I'm in the bathtub. I'm like doing this, like, get it out of the hair, quick. Because I have no idea how the fuck this works. I don't understand the pull down. It's always a pull up. You pull up. Who pulls down? That's like pulling out. Seriously, wear a condom. But that's like, why? Who does this? Who's the idea? Who's the one that's behind this and thinking, you know what? Gravity. That's a thing. We should go with gravity for our shower head. Why? Why do you think that? Who's the master manipulator that thought, this is the way to go? This is the way to do things? That's not me. But who cares? It's not me. Gotta make sure you keep moist, During all the show, you gotta keep moist. That was a mistake. An utter mistake. But, going into it, another thing I've always wondered about. How do you measure cars? So, I recently got into it. I bought a new car. Well, not new. It's new to me. I named it Shelby after an ex-girlfriend that we're going to talk about later. But, Shelby here. How do you measure Shelby? Well, trunk space is the biggest thing. You can do passenger load. You measure it with people. How do you measure trunk space without looking like an asshole? Well, I thought of it recently. You gotta measure it right, which the right way to do it is easy. Easy. You take people, you use them for how many people you can fit. So, for example, my car fits 5. 2 in the front, 3 in the back. It's a little tight, but you fit. You fit. Well, trunk space. You gotta measure it some way. Well, we all know how people's sizes are. And people's sizes are pretty similar most of the time. So, why not dead bodies? I know, you don't want to say this at the car dealership. The car dealership guy's going to be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah, I'm just checking out this here Ford truck. How many dead bodies can you fit in the trunk? This is a truck. You've got a bed. You can fit as many dead bodies as you want. The car dealership guy's got to go with it. He's like, this guy's fucking nuts. He's going to murder me and put me in the trunk. There isn't even a trunk. It's a tailgate. But, you know, he's got to be safe. He's like, I don't want to get fucked over by this man. This man's going to fucking wreck me. He's going to ruin me. I'll just take his money and hopefully never see him again, because those days I don't work, hopefully. But he's wrong. He works those days. He's going to see this man many a times, and it's going to suck to be him. So, another big thing that I've always thought of, not really related to dead bodies or cars, but, you know, Mario. What the fuck's with Mario? This man's never unemployed. I bet you the recession happened, the depression happened. This motherfucker's still going. He's a plumber. He's fixing pipes. He's probably in porn as well. I mean, he's gotta be. I mean, he's fixing all these people's pipes. He's also doing all this Olympics shit. How the fuck do you be a plumber and an Olympic athlete at the same time? He also plays baseball. I'm just thinking Mario. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna get him right in the Marios. He's fucking nailing those balls. What the hell is wrong with him? How the fuck is he so talented? And then you got his brother, Luigi. Everybody shits on Luigi, but Luigi does as much as Mario. He may not do it as well, but holy shit, he does everything too. He's been in every game that Mario's in pretty much except Doctor. Luigi isn't a doctor? Well, I guess he's the runt of the family then. He's not a doctor. Motherfucker, you need to be a doctor to be doing this well. I'm no doctor. I'm just a comedian, but holy shit, Mario's got it made. Luigi, once again, may not be the prodigal son, but he is a man among men. He is a man among gods. No. He is a god among men. There we go. That's the way to word it. But honestly, how is he fucking looked down upon in the family when he still does all this shit? I mean, Mario, tennis once again. Basketball, race car driver with Mario Kart. What doesn't he do? If there's something that I missed, tell me in the comments below. I want to know what I missed. And I know there's a lot of them. Make sure I know. Because Mario does a lot of shit. And he needs to talk to somebody. This man's got some sort of problem. I mean, his job issue. And I'm just thinking, if he's got this many jobs, he's probably getting fired a lot. His resume's got to look terrible. I went from plumber to Olympic athlete to baseball player to doctor. What? How the fuck do you go from these jobs? You look like a convict, Mario. That's not an Italian joke either. He just looks like a convict at this point because of all these jobs. But another thing I've always wondered is, he always saves Peach, but he never gets any action. He's got to be getting some sort of action. I mean, I always wanted to be a mattress tester when I was a kid. I mean, jumping up and down, you got to really test it. I mean, you got to put the water down here, and you got to do the old jump. It's still there. I'm not going to spill it because I need this for later. But, you know, you got to do the mattress testing, which involves a lot of things. I mean, you got to do the jump, obviously. You got to do all that. That's important shit. When you're testing a mattress, you got to make sure shit doesn't fall. But the biggest thing I've always thought of is you got to do the old, here's the pillow, for example. You got to do the old, lay down here. You got to test it. Put the mic right there. You got to be like, oh, yeah, this is a good bed. Oh, yeah, this is a real good bed. What am I humping? It's a floor, people. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm a single man. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm humping floors. But really, mattress tester has always been my favorite job to say, because if you say comedian, people will always ask you, what's a joke? I don't know what a joke is. I'm no professional. I got all this dirt on my shirt now from this dumb joke that, you know, I don't know what a good joke is. It's all, you know, subjective. But another thing I've always thought of, as a single man, I watch porn. I watch porn in public. I'm a ballsy motherfucker. But why don't they have subtitles? I mean, seriously, why don't they have subtitles? Because I like the story. I'm weird like that. I'm a story-driven guy. All these jokes are stories in some way. I pointed to the floor because you can't see it. There's note cards everywhere to tell me what the order is. I'm a dumbass once again. But porn needs subtitles. I need to know when he's going like this and she's yelling, "Oh yes, daddy, oh yes." I want to know that she's calling him daddy. I don't want to see stepbro because that's fucking weird. Daddy is okay, but stepbro is fucking weird. Oh yes, stepbro. Oh yeah, stepbro. What? What? Honestly, who's calling their significant other daddy? You've got problems. You've got daddy issues, as I like to call it. But really, something else that always wondered me here is with the porn subtitles. We need them. You can't always understand them. They're gagging on a cock. You need to know what they're saying. What is that? What does that mean? Can you put subtitle gagging on cock for me just so that I know what's happening? I'm a dumbass once again. I like to see it. Gagging on cock. I don't have a cock here. Actually, I do, but that's not important. But, you know, I have always wondered that. That always leads me to my other thing. There used to be a thing called porn theaters. Who the fuck goes to a theater with another group of people and say, let's go watch some porn together? Why? Why do you want to watch porn with somebody else? Do it in your alone time. If it's your significant other, just do it at home. Just have sex. But my aunt took me to this theater, and one of the theaters was closed. It was like blocked off. It was a kids area, and I'm like, that's really weird. And then she's like, hey, did you know this was a porn theater at once? And I'm like, why would you tell me that? Anybody got a black light? I want to know how well they clean the seats at this point. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the shit that's went down at this point. Like, who the fuck is fucking masturbating in this theater? I mean, Jesus, you're masturbating right next to another fucker. Oh, yeah. Did you come? Because I came. I know. That's what I'm thinking. So she tells me this after we start walking in the theater, and I'm like thinking, I didn't want extra butter now that I think about it, because who knows what's in the butter. I know it's just oil, but it's still the thought that counts, just like Christmas. But I'm just like sitting there like, why would you tell me this? I couldn't think of whatever movie we were seeing. I've forgotten the movie at this point. I'm just thinking about how I sat in a seat where some guy was probably jerking it. As a man who's jerked it in the theater once, I don't want to be sitting in that seat again. I avoided that seat for the rest of my days like the plague. I didn't get shit anywhere, but I avoided that seat because masturbating in theaters is a ballsy maneuver. I know, slow clap. That's what I'm thinking happened there. But masturbating in theaters is a ballsy maneuver, as they would say. And the reason I say that's a ballsy maneuver is I did it once. Never again. So, I'm a huge James Bond fan. When I say huge, I mean I've seen 17, 18 of the movies. There's like 26 of them. I've been watching them all slowly, and it's been a mistake. A lot of them are dog shit. I read all the books that Ian Fleming wrote. But this was before I knew what they were. And I was just seeing the movie as a kid in the theater. So, I go to see Quantum of Solace. Anybody seen Quantum of Solace? It's an okay movie. It's not the best Bond. It's not the worst by a long shot. There's a lot worse that you could be watching than Quantum of Solace. Well, let's just say James Bond and his girl just narrowly escaped the bad guys, and they're in a canyon with their destroyed plane, and they're about to fuck. And I'm like, this girl is really attractive. I'm going to regret this in 10 seconds, but let's just do it. And I just bang it out. You know, it's a quick, like a... And it's a good thing it was quick, because if it wasn't quick, there would have been some awkward explaining to do. So I want to point out, I'm in the front row. I'm like leaned back like this. It's a packed theater. I'm the only one in the front row, though, which is the good thing to note. So I'm just sitting there leaning, and I'm just like, I'm right-handed, so I'm just like, oh, yeah. And I get it done quick. It's a good thing I did get it done quick, because finished quick, like a minute went by. when you're a teenager, preteen, in that area, you're quick. You're done. You just get it done and go on with your day. As an adult, you make this like a whole full course meal. You're like, oh yeah, start with some photos, then move my way into videos. You know how it goes. But as a kid, you're just like, I want to get this done. I'm horny. Let's go. So I did. I went quick. I went real quick. And then what happened is, I'm happy I did go quick, because about 10 seconds after I was pulling my pants back up, I don't do the full down. I do just like part down, just uncover the balls and the dick a little bit. Make sure they get some air while I'm doing this, because that's important. You want to breathe. Well, as I'm finished, pull up my pants, employee walks it over, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gone. I can never come back to this theater. I'm like, Hartford's my home theater. I'm fucked. I should have did this at a different theater. At least then if I get kicked out, I don't have to worry, because I'm not coming back there. But, oh shit, she didn't come to me. Thankfully, I came already, and she did not come. But that's a lot of men's situations. They don't come. Or they come, they don't let their girlfriend finish. But I'm like, thank God I finished quick. This could have been bad. I could not be going to this theater again, maybe. But good news is, I still can. And I still see movies there all the time. I never go in that seat. That seat's dead to me. Theater 2, seat, I think it's C? No, it's not C. I think it's seat, what is it? 10. I think it's 10. I know it when I see it. I avoid that one like the fucking plague. I'm like, I did the deed here. I didn't fuck anybody, but I fucked myself. So, we've had enough about porn. I've talked a little bit about porn, and I feel like it's time to move on from the porn. Let's talk about toaster dials. Fucking toaster dials? What the fuck do you want to talk about toaster dials for? Have you ever looked at a toaster dial and thought, what the fuck do? You don't tell me anything. I've had toasters, put it on 5. I want this shit burnt. Burn, bitch, burn. I'm sitting there. All right, let's wait. And I always assume when it says 5, it means 5 minutes. That's not true. I can tell you from experience. Does it make it darker? Just a little bit. But I've always thought, what happens if I turn it to 4? It's in the same amount of time. What fucking black magic is happening in this toaster that it's in the same time? Well, the same fucking time, and it's not as dark. Who does this shit? What is the time code for this? Honestly, I want to be a toaster manufacturer fucking with people. Let's make the 1 actually be the 5 this time, because they've swapped it. I've had points where 1 is the dark side and 5 is the light side, and it's like, what is happening? Why? Who does this shit? Seriously. Who's out there thinking, I need a toaster that 5 is light, and I need 1 to be dark? I feel like you've done that wrong. 5 is light, 11 is dark. That's what you should be doing. But really, toaster dials. Who the fuck does this shit? You're an asshole, toaster manufacturers. Fix your shit. I'm fixing my shit, but you need to fix your shit. Which doesn't really lead into this next one, so let's just awkwardly pause for a second and think about our life and what we've been doing. Now that we've had a minute of splaining to do, and think about what we've been doing here, and, we've thought about it a while. There's been a lot of sex jokes, and a lot of jokes that I've told, but none involving women. None of them are involving girls that I've talked to over my time, because girls are gross. Ew. That's not true. Girls are great. But the issue that I've learned is there's a lot of awkward situations for men. Men are awkward. Women are not as awkward. Let's be honest there. They've prepared for this shit. They're prepared. They're ready to go. They're prepared. They know what they're doing. They know what's going to happen. They know when to leave. They know what time it is. They know everything. Guys are just like, I'm walking up. I'm not prepared at all, just like the note card show. But really, the biggest thing to point out is guys are never ready for what's about to happen. Women have an idea, and they know what's going to happen, but guys don't. So this leads me into a girl that I talked about earlier that I named after my car after, Shelby. So, years ago, this one's a good one. You're going to laugh, and I'm going to laugh it off and think about this multiple times a day for the rest of my life. Well, have you ever been to Six Flags Great America? If you have not, it's near Chicago. It's Six Flags. The ride is called the Whizzer. And as an adult, you know what I'm talking about right away. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's the boner mobile. That's what I call it. That's all it's there for. I know what you're thinking. Damian, there's families that go on that. The way you strap in, that's made for Pleasure Town, baby. You're a guy, you get your girl in front of you, you're like, yeah, this is great. You're hitting bumps, you're hitting shit, and oh, little Damian wants to arrive. He wants a ride as well, and I'm like, not now, friend, please. But he's like, it's go time, motherfucker. And I'm like, it's not go time. It's no time, no time, no time. And we continue on this ride. We're not even halfway through the ride. Just the bumps alone. This ride was made in like the 70s. And it shows, like 100% shows that it was made in the 70s. It's rickety and rockety. You're fucking bouncing, like I said. And you're just sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, she's bouncing on you. And you're like, oh no. This is either a confidence move or a non-confidence move. In my case, there was no confidence involved. I wanted it to happen, but I didn't want it to happen. Because as time went on, she could tell that I had a average size penis. And this girl is into big dick. I can tell you 100%. Big dick. Big boys. Not fat, like muscular. Like, I'm 5'7". She wants a guy that's like 6'3". I'm like, I'm not going to fill that area or that void for you. But I can hope. So, as we continue on the ride, we get near the end, and I'm like, at this point, she can tell the size of my dick, the length, the girth, the everything, the dimensions, she can describe it to a fucking sketch artist, and he'll draw it on a sheet of paper, and I'll be like, that's my dick. That's little Damian. That's him, all right. What's he doing on this sheet of paper? What did I do, officer? What did I do? But it was expected. I mean, it was a great experience, but I don't talk to her anymore, and, well, it's probably for the best after little Damian was like, hello there, motherfuckers. So, another thing that I always think about when it comes to women, another thing that happened to me once, it's not a roller coaster ride, but it's a roller coaster of emotions that happened here. This is back high school. We all remember high school. You either love it or you hate it. I am in the middle that is kind of like, I loved high school, honestly. There's pros and cons to high school. One is not knowing who you're going in with. Because in my high school, we had a feeder system. There's like a school like 20 miles away. They're feeding in. There's a school that's like 10 miles away. They're feeding in. They're everywhere. It's like fucking Oprah giving away cars. But for a school, they're giving kids. They're like, yeah, get in here, get in here. And I'm going in freshman year, and I'm like, this is math. I don't know what the fuck math is anymore. I don't even know what day it is of the week. Well, as time went on, my buddy and I, who I knew from middle school because I went to a middle school before I went to this high school, my buddy and I are sitting in this math class, and I'm like, dude, can I copy your homework? He's like, yeah. And I look forward, and I see this girl, and I'm like, that is a really hot blonde. Holy shit. Like, Jesus Christ, she's hot. Well, my buddy's like, you should definitely talk to her. And I'm like, eventually, as we talked about earlier, there's a confidence level of men. They wing it. There's no confidence here in my fucking 15-year-old body. I'm just thinking, how do I get out of this class and avoid a boner situation? Because this was happening at that point as well. So, as days go by, they turn into weeks. He asked me, why haven't you talked to her, Damian? Why would I? I don't know her. I know nothing about her. Well, eventually I figure out that it's a good thing I didn't talk to her. Because she's like, she walks up to me one day as my buddy and I are talking, and he's like, "Oh, Damian, how's your chance?" He sneakily says that as she's walking up. So she doesn't hear it, I assume. If she heard it, this is awkward. I don't ever want to talk about this again after this experience, but hey, Sonia, we're cousins. You told me that. And ever since then, fuck! That's unfortunate. Needless to say, I never looked at her the same again, and I never knew that she was my cousin because I never went to the family reunions, I guess, that had her in it. We're only second cousins, I'd like to point out, so Alabama. How's it going? Honestly, though, it was an odd experience, and I always think back to it and think, I'm so happy I didn't ask her anything. She asked for my mother's name and said we're cousins, and after that I can't ever think of a woman again until I think I've got to have the awkward conversation with myself. Do you know her? Have you seen her before? And I've got to think. She rings a bell. She was at the family reunion. Boner goes away. Well, move on with life. But there's also the awkward situation where I got to think, I haven't seen her before, but somehow I think we're related. Somehow. And I just think, I'm just going to go on with my day because this is not worth my time, and I do not want another, we're cousins. Because that'd be terrible. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be like, yeah, this is great. So, with that, it leads into another joke that I've always thought of here. Fish in the sea. As you can tell, I don't get out much, and I'll admit that all the time. I'm not really a go out kind of guy. I don't want to go to bars or go do things. I'll go to Six Flags here and there, but it's great. But the biggest thing to note here is that I'm sitting here thinking, there's a lot of fish in the sea. That's a fucking lie. We're in a fucking pond. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm not leaving this area. I like home. Home is nice. I will go tour in the future and do tours and shit if they allow me to. Also, Disney, hit me up. But, conveniently, I don't want to leave home. Home is great. But, that means my sea has shrunk down to a lake. Shit, it's probably even a pond. So there's a pond. I can skip a scone and hit a cousin in the face and be like, oh no, not again. Which is something I always think about every time. Like I said earlier, that I'm looking at a woman and think, am I going to fucking regret this decision because I'm a guy and you're my cousin that I didn't know existed until just now? Hopefully not. So, really, we're coming down to the end of this. There's no more jokes on the floor here that I've been looking at this whole time to figure out where I am. But, biggest thing to note is, if you liked any of these jokes, I have them time-coded. So, they're all time-coded. You can find where they are in the description. They're also going to be in the little timeline if you're on mobile. You can find what joke you like, and I'll time-code them. I'll regret watching this again because I hate watching myself in any situation. But I'll watch it, find you those time codes, spread the word. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Send this video to your friends and laugh at my jokes and my unfunny jokes and my lack of confidence because I never have confidence. Have a good night.